In the headline, Adamawa Kebbi State Governors-elect receive certificates of return. Kaduna State government says bandits killed 214, kidnapped 746 in 3 months. Police arrest 4 suspected cattle rustlers in Benue. And on the international scene, Sudan ceasefire breaks down as death toll nears 300. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Smaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us, and now the news in full. We'll start with politics. The newly elected Adamawa State Governor Ahmadu Fintiri says the suspended Adamawa State INEC resident electoral commissioner Hudu Yunusa Ari should be prosecuted in Adamawa State, where he committed the offense of illegally announcing the winner, when he was not empowered to do so. Fintiri said this when he and his deputy received their certificates of return at the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Abuja. Noel Samson has more.
Ahmadu Fintiri maintained that the action of the suspended INEC reg was against the development of democracy and fundamental rights of the people of Adamawa State, and as such should be made to face justice there.
Hudu should be prosecuted, and I believe I'm the right person to prosecute him because he committed the offense in Adamawa, and I'm sure I'm going to prosecute him, along with the security chiefs that committed those offenses with him, because they ought to have been the one to protect democracy. But if the police and the security agencies will be the one to connive with INEC officials to scuttle our democracy, I think it's unfortunate.
He used the opportunity to thank the people of Adamawa State for voting him and promised not to disappoint them, and the Independent National Electoral Commission for fighting for democracy.
Today, Nigerians have the cause to celebrate democracy, and all of us have won. I think going forward, we should learn from the lessons that we have gone through in the last 1 month, so that together as stakeholders, we will continue to build on the process, we will continue to build on our democracy to improve and deepen the democracy. One apology I have to make is what happened to the 2 excellent commissioners in my state. I take the blame and I make apology openly. I'm sorry for what the hoodlums and the miscreants did for the mistaken identity that they thought they were Hudu.
The Adamawa State election was declared inconclusive before the rerun, which later produced Ahmadu Fintiri as the winner. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Celebrations broke out among members of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, on the streets of Yola, the Adamawa State capital, and other places as the people danced and celebrated the outcome of the fiercely contested governorship election. On Tuesday, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, declared Governor Ahmadu Fintiri, who contested on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as the winner of the governorship election. Silas Lawan has the report.
The declaration of the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, as the winner of the Adamawa State governorship election sparked jubilations in the state. Loudspeakers were mounted in many streets with pro-Fintiri music blaring out. Some leaders of the People's Democratic Party have reassured of the governor's commitment toward lifting the state to the greater height.
We want to assure them that we will continue the good works we have started. We have started laying the foundation for a greater Adamawa State where systems work, where institutions work, where resources are judiciously utilized, where the government is responsive to the earnings of the people. So the assurance I want to give them is that we shall continue to build on those blocks and ensure that, like we have always maintained our philosophy as a government.
This government has promoted peace and stability in Adamawa. We have now, you can count Adamawa among fourth state, fastest growing state. We will not allow somebody to come and destroy it. With this, the people of Adamawa decided to vote for him. Over 400,000 votes. It's not easy. We thank Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri and will continue to urge him to continue to do good for the people of Adamawa.
Since the election is over and winner emerged after the supplementary election, stakeholders said it was high time the attention of government shifted toward providing democratic dividends to the people. They also called on members of the All Progressive Congress to join hands in moving the state forwards.
You get the word, even when your wife is pregnant and she delivered safely, successfully, you have to jubilate. So also when you go for an election and then you win an election, you must jubilate. And that's why we are happy, we are jubilating. We are here to thank God, we are here to thank INEC and to thank everybody for supporting us, supporting the governor, Ahmadu Umaru Fintri.
My message to them will be to come together to build Adamawa State, especially given that the current governor, Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru Fintri, has delivered on the dividends of democracy, and that is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf.
Effort to reach some leaders in the Binani camp proved abortive. Silas Lewan, Trust TV News, Yola.
Kebbi State's Governor-elect Dr. Nasiru Idris has promised to round off all projects not completed by his predecessor, Abubakar Bagudu. The Governor-elect is also promising to give Birnin Kebbi, the state capital, a facelift. Idris made the pledge in Birnin Kebbi when he and his deputy, Abubakar Tafida, collected their certificates of return at the state INEC headquarters. He pledged that he was ready to turn the economy of the state around and ensure that farmers in the troubled southern parts of the state return to their farms when he is sworn in. The governor-elect said the people of Kebbi State deserve to live a good life because they are hardworking and are committed to progress of the state. Zamfara State's Governor-elect Dauda Lawal has constituted a 60-member transition committee to plan for the May 29th handover from the outgoing administration of Governor Bello Matawalli Mohammed, of course. The Governor-elect in the statement signed by the Suleiman Idris on Wednesday disclosed that the committee is charged with the responsibility of liaising with the outgoing administration of Governor Bello Mohammed ahead of the May 29th swearing-in of the new government. Former Inspector General of Police Muhammad Abubakar will chair the committee while Hamza Mohammed will serve as secretary. The committee's primary task is to develop a clear framework of liaison and establish a clear channel, of the formal communication with the outgoing administration for a smooth transition. The House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee investigating the sale of 48 million barrels of crude oil amounting to over $2.4 billion and crude oil export to global destinations from 2014 to date has demanded the appearance of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami to give evidence on allegations that he approved the payment of the sum of $200 million to two private firms as consultancy service fees on whistleblowers' recoveries. The ad hoc committee is also demanding the appearance of the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed Shamsuna, to explain her role in the said approvals and payment without providing details of actual recoveries from whistleblowers. The report.
Chairman of the ad hoc committee, Mark Gbila, gave the ruling on Wednesday at the resumed hearing of the investigation, saying that both ministers have been uncooperative with the panel despite several letters of invitation. He said they have not been getting any form of cooperation from the Ministry of Finance and Attorney General's office regarding the investigation, despite series of correspondence sent to them on the matters they are investigating. He added that they have seen documents from the Accountant General's office where the Minister of Finance approved the payment of substantial amounts of money to so-called whistleblowers, where details of monies recovered were not provided. Wheeler also added that they have heard media reports by the federal government indicating that millions of dollars were recovered through whistleblower revelations on behalf of the country. But as a parliament, they have not seen where those monies were routed through as required by the Constitution before they were expended.
Of the committee, we have not been getting the cooperation from the Ministry of Finance with regards to salient issues that this committee is investigating. We have seen documentation from the Accountant General's office that shows that the Honorable Minister of Finance approved the payment of significant, substantial amounts of money to so-called whistleblowers, where details of the monies recovered was not provided. We have had media reports by the federal government indicating that millions of dollars were recovered.
Earlier, during questioning, the Chief Executive of Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Gbenga Komolafe, denied knowledge of the alleged sales of 40 million barrels of crude oil export in 2015.
Relating to the specific issue of the 48 million barrels of crude oil stolen, that is a committee was set up, to the best of my knowledge, but I wasn't a member of that committee. That is my response, Mr. Chairman.
The resolve to summon the two ministers, according to the committee, follows their repeated failure to honor earlier invitations from the House.
And now in security, the Kaduna State government has said that no fewer than 214 persons were killed because of attacks by terrorists, communal clashes and reprisals across the state from January to March 2023. This was disclosed by the State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruan, in the first quarter 2023 security report he presented to the State Security Council. Aruan explained that 196 males, 14 females, and 4 minors were killed, while 746 citizens were kidnapped during the period under review. He also said that Kaduna Central Senatorial District remained top on the list with 115 deaths. Receiving the report, Governor Nasir El-Rufai appealed to the federal government to escalate security operations across the 7 frontline states of the Northwest and Niger states within the coming weeks, adding that the state governments, alone were unable to handle the problem. The operation, the governor noted, would prevent the creation of a dangerous lull for criminal outlaws to exploit, especially during the period of transitioning from one administration to another. He also reiterated that the commitment of the Kaduna State government is improving security as well as securing the lives and properties of the residents of the state. The Osun State Police Command has rescued a couple from kidnappers at a forest in the state. The couple, Andrew and Margaret Jonah, were abducted while going to church for vigil. The couple said they spent days in captivity without food or water before men of the anti-kidnapping squad of Osun State Police Command rescued them. The wife, Margaret Jonah, said the kidnappers threatened to kill them and use their remains for ritual unless their relatives pay ransom. The police public relations officer for the command, Yemisi Okwalola, warned the residents to be mindful of their movement, so as not to fall prey.
Us to kill me and my husband, and they did not give us water to drink nor food. So the one that stayed with us, when we heard the gunshots, he was not afraid. So he now ran away. That is how my husband he now untied the rope on our body, and we are sharing my husband's name. So it's police that are calling my husband. The police that came to rescue us, that the one calling my husband. While he was hearing his name, he now answered them. That is how he was able to escape.
And I'm using this medium to tell the members of the public to watch their movements. They should not be moving in the odd hours. They should not be moving too early in the morning and late in the night. When you want to go for a vigil, like they said, the couple said, they want to go to a vigil. Maybe the vigil is going to start by 10 o'clock. You can be there before 5 or by 5 o'clock. Be resting, or you may even be sleeping in the church before the set time. And avoid moving in a lonely route. you know, a place that you know that people are not, you know, they are not using it much. Don't move in such areas.
Meanwhile, operatives of a joint police task force, codenamed Operation Zenda, in Benue State have arrested 8 suspected cattle rustlers and recovered 6 cows from their hideout. Jimmy Adzande was at the police command headquarters in Makurdi, where the suspects were paraded, and he reports.
Parading the suspects, the State Police Public Relations Officer Sewesi Anani said the team of Operation Zenda in Guma and Taka local government areas carried out the arrest following intelligence report. The PPRO also hinted that the suspects confessed that they are part of a gang of many criminals.
People you are seeing behind me are people who come together, both herders and farmers. They come together to rustle cattle from the herders, and then go back to the herders to tell them that it was the farmers that rustled their cattle. And then they begin to clash. They begin to fight amongst themselves. 3 of them, they will speak with you on what is happening. We got intelligence that these people are more than 20, 30 carrying out this act. Some are even foreigners, according to what he told us. They have formed a group going about rustling cattle and telling herders that it is members of these communities that are rustling cattle in these areas.
The suspects say they have been in the business with a coalition of some of the herders who give them the cows to sell to awaiting buyers. They also say the farmers are often framed for being the rustlers.
This group, maybe Ori TV Day, Jukuma Day inside, Ausama Day inside.
So far, how many cows?
I know few counters.
What do you do mean? That's what we want to hear.
You say Fulani they bring cow. Can't give us elders. Go say.
Okay.
Go say. Bring the money. Go share with them all.
Now this cow issue and for can show cow when send us. This is our second time to do the job with that. The first one we carried 2 corn. He said to us, he can't say give us 10 times. This man we carry corn, he give us 225. Now we refuse. We fight with them. We tell and say we no go ever do a job again. Now we can't stop.
Meanwhile, the police command said the stakeholders meeting will be summoned to fish out the perpetrators of the crime in order to end attacks in Benue communities.
We're going to have a stakeholder meeting. Herders will be called, farmers will be called together for them to be able to fish out these people, because they are saying that there are more than 20 doing these things. So they have to fish them out.
The commander also said those arrested will be investigated and prosecuted according to the law.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, we'll take a look at traumatic experiences shared by demolition exercise victims. Details on this and more after the break. Stay with us.
Good morning, Nigeria. Year after year, they have informed, educated, and entertained us. When you needed information, knowledge, or an escape.
From generation to generation, the Nigerian broadcasting industry has worked tirelessly to serve you.
And now, this service will finally be recognized.
Come May 17th this year, broadcasters all over Nigeria will gather at a hotel and suites for the maiden edition of the Nigerian Broadcasting Awards, an award ceremony set to reward hard work and excellence in the broadcast media. Voting starts on 20th April and ends on 4th May 2023. Visit www.tnbawards.ng to vote now. They've served and they're still serving. It's time we say thank you. This award is organized by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BON.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update, and here is a recap of our top stories. We brought you Adamawa Kebbi State Governors-elect receive certificate of return. And Kaduna State government says bandits killed 214, kidnapped 746 in 3 months. Now moving on to more stories. as the most important and holiest month in the Islamic calendar, clerics have urged Muslim faithful to make charity during Ramadan fast a duty to gain multiple rewards from Allah. At a charity donation by a non-governmental organization, Jibwis Orphans and Widows Welfare Foundation in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, the clerics described the holy month as a time of increased worship, spiritual cleansing, and good deeds. The report.
Charity is an important part of Islam and is most significant during the month-long Ramadan fast. An Islamic non-governmental organization in Rivers State, Jibwis Orphans and Widows Welfare Foundation, used its Ramadan sensitization lecture to empower some Muslim faithful in the state. Speaking with newsmen, the secretary of the organization in the state, Aliu Danliti, said charity during Ramadan is an opportunity to gain multiple rewards by giving to the needy in order to seek the pleasure of Allah. Danliti said the group also focused on educating Muslims on available government health programs in order to have an informed society that can access medical services.
And the essence of doing this, we have realized government alone cannot give enough to everybody within each citizenry. So we need to also inculcate the habits of funding and assisting the less privileged among ourselves. This will bring love. The charity will bring love, and it will bring protection, and it will make us live as one without envy and bigotry. So these are basically why Jibwis is easy.
Representative of the State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency sensitized youth and women on negative consequences of illicit drugs intake. Some of the beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the group for the support.
Let God bless them. Then do well. It's not easy by this hour. Anywhere they provide this income, any hand will bring them. Let God double upon double for them. May God give them long life. May them continue to help the widows then.
The negative effect of it, each children, everybody has a dream. If you involve yourself in drugs, you will not be able to actualize your dream. The negative effect, like the Kurumbiri, if you take it, you will be behaving funny as if you are having mental issue. It can lead to mental health. Then like the tramadol, some of them, the effect of tramadol will make you to have what we call seizure. You'll be falling as if you have epilepsy.
And we always show them love, that we love them. We don't forget them, no matter that they don't have a parent, father, or they don't have anybody to cater us, but so far as they are with us, they have a lot of hope and confidence. So that is why you see them there, they are all happy, and everybody knows that whenever you came here, you will go back home with a very big smile.
Those are 15 years and above. We are still taking our COVID-19 vaccination. As we are now, rainy season don't start. We will begin to see small symptoms of fever, sore throat. I cannot smell, I cannot taste, my body is paining me, my waist is paining me, my bones are paining me, I am so tired. You go to say na malaria, not malaria, na COVID.
During Ramadan, fasting and acts of charity are obligatory for Muslims who are able to do so. Fasting from sunrise to sunset is representative of spiritual cleansing, hence an effort to become closer to God and an attempt to gain a better understanding of human suffering.
Meanwhile, in recent months, some parts of the Federal Capital Territory have suffered from demolition exercises, with many rendered homeless and property worth millions lost. In this report, Noel Sampson speaks with some affected Nigerians on life after demolition, especially in areas such as shelter, healthcare, and getting back their lives. The report.
Some of those affected by demolitions are yet to recover from the trauma of seeing their abodes reduced to rubble, while those who have gone beyond the trauma are struggling to get on their feet. With no prior notice of demolition in some areas, coupled with the lack of compensation from government, the resolve to begin all over again can be a daunting task. Ironically, some are already erecting fresh structures in the demolished areas, not minding the fact that the same fate can befall the new ones.
Honestly, the trauma remains till this second, this minute, from 21st day of December 2022. Shelter means a lot of things. How can you get the wood, even if it is used wood? How do you get the nails, even if it is used nails?
If you go in now, you can see so many places now, they have not repaired their bacha. They are just managing they are joining for one bacha, 3 family or 4 family inside. because it's not raining, it's dry season, so sometimes in the night they will sleep outside.
As I see us now, to pay school fees for my children, they're hard. To get food, they're hard. Both of the house were demolished. Up to now, many of my people were demolished their places now. They don't get anything where they feel repair another house.
This is one of the sites that have suffered demolition in Abuja in the past few months. The question now to be asked is that how have they been coping and where have they been sleeping after the demolition? From Durumi in Abuja, Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And now from the international scene, a new ceasefire attempt between Sudanese troops and paramilitary forces in the Khartoum has so far been unsuccessful, heightening concerns over diminishing food provisions and a breakdown of essential medical services. Thousands of residents have fled the capital, Khartoum, so have some 320 soldiers who were detained in neighboring Chad. The violent clashes have already left more than 270 civilians dead and more than 2,000 injured. According to the World Health Organization, Germany and Japan are reportedly planning the evacuation of their citizens. The UN will on Thursday meet with the African Union, the Arab League, and representatives of other organizations to discuss the situation in Sudan. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust TV News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.